the sister's Earths. You understand? That's why they do that. But sure enough now, the deportation of the moon was one of the many things that the Honorable Elijah Muhammad taught about, that people said this man crazy. Y'all Muslims listening to that crazy stuff he down there talking? That man crazy. Deportation of the moon 66 trillion years ago. I thought the earth was only 6,000 years old. We had 66 million, you mean? You mean billion? No, trillion, he said. He said because we have been here on this planet for trillions of years. He said, I don't care how far back you go, you will find evidence that we were there. So while he telling the world that the planet was only 6,000 years old, his own scientists have went about the work of studying ancient bones. And they didn't go to Europe. And they didn't go to Australia. And they didn't go over to China. They went to Africa. Dr. Leakey and all of these wise white scientists who are now telling you things about the earth and all this carbon dating and all this stuff that came up. Where did all of it come from? He didn't go, like I said, to Europe somewhere. He went to Africa. And the first bones they say they uncovered was 1 million years old. And that the people of these bones, it was clear that they had milk teeth, which means they cooked their food. They did not eat it raw. There is no caveman era for the black man. The caveman era is for white people. There is no time that you can find where there wasn't a civilization on this here planet that we had built. We never lived in the caves, eating our food raw, eating the bark off of trees, mating with dogs, living and sleeping in our urine and our feces, not knowing how to bury our dead. We never did that. That was all Caucasian history, and only 4,000 years ago. There is no time where we didn't have a civilization. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad said, yes, 66 trillion years ago. And guess what? He said one word, what I taught. One word, and I'll give you my head on a chopping block. One word. Well, why didn't they come up and challenge him about the deportation of the moon? Well, what evidence is there of that, Elijah Muhammad? You're talking all of this talk? Now your scientists now, white folks, they have a Big Bang theory. Where it come from? Yes, sir. Your white scientists now are talking about, and we look at the terrain of the earth, and as we study the archaeological terrain of the planet, there is great evidence that there was some catastrophic event that took place millions of years ago. And we think that it caused a blotting out of the sun, which killed all the dinosaurs and all of the vegetation that was on the planet. That's right, too. That's what they're saying now. They're saying that when we look at the terrain of the planet, there's evidence that a great meteor must have hit the planet. Something must have happened on the planet because the planet tells you this. We know what happened. We know what the terrain is looking like that's for and why. We know that it was no more than the deportation of the moon, just as he taught us. One word, and I'll give you my head on the chopping block. One word. Now, white folks are also saying, as they have sent their probes up, and these probes that they've sent to various parts of the universe, supposedly, they've studied the information sent back. And their astronomers, who look it up, have all said every moon that is around every planet in our solar system, because the rings of Saturn, they are made up of pieces of Saturn. They have moons that hold the rings in line. Moons that orbit Saturn, orbit Uranus, and but they orbit around the planet and have moons keeping the cycling rings in place, and their astronomers have said every moon around every planet in our solar system, that moon once was a part of that planet. What about Earth? He said every moon around every planet in the solar system, the moon was once a part of that planet. Elijah Muhammad taught it to you and said 66 trillion years ago it happened. And the world said he was crazy, especially black folks. White folks didn't. They listened to the Elijah Muhammad. You don't. He listened real well. And go to work, research. Go to work to try and uncover and discover. But you don't. Now Elijah Muhammad said that the deportation of the moon ultimately caused us also to be changed. We're different people. That's why in your lessons you talk about the planet being found. You don't know about the lessons. You're going to have to get acquainted with the messenger's lessons. You got to write your letters first. And by writing your letters, I'll start giving you the lessons in FOI class that he has given to us. It says in there, the planet was found. Which it says, where's the best part? In the holy city of Mecca. Which means where the knowledge of the black man began. I'm not quoting it directly, but when the planet was found. And everybody said, found? I thought you created that planet. When the deportation of the moon took place and the earth ultimately was blown into another orbit, this produced a whole nother black man. That is what it means when it says the planet was founded. You ever seen on the side of a building, founded 1892, founded 1964, founded, you ever seen that?
Yes, sir.
What does that mean? Well, you took the materials and built the building. You didn't find the materials. But the word founding also applies to having built something new. There was a new earth now. A new black man now. A new black woman now. So ultimately, there was a finding of a new planet. You understand? 66 trillion years ago. All praise is due to the Lord. 66 trillion years ago. Every word that he taught us was 100% correct and easily proven. So now, like I said, they talking about dinosaurs, and that's how they all died out. Elijah Muhammad said there was never dinosaurs. That's a lie. We challenged him to prove that. There's never been no giant dinosaurs like you see on Jurassic Park. We challenged them to prove that. Well, we got some bones. You go show me some bones that are millions of years old, that are of a dinosaur, the size of the T-Rexes and all that you showed. I had my son watch Excalibur with me, a movie about the sword and the stone, about King Arthur, the Knights of the Round Table. And they kept talking about the dragon. They said that the source of his power was Luther Pendragon. They have dragon as their symbol. Why? Because Elijah Muhammad taught us that when we bottle them up in Europe, which is actually what the word means. Europe means EU stands for hills and cave sides. And ROPE is the rope to bind them in. When we bottle them up in Europe, that's what it means. When we bottled them up in Europe, some 6,000 years ago, when they couldn't come out of Europe. That's why Mr. Columbus was trying to find a new route. Why can't you just go down, Mr. Columbus? Because we didn't allow you to come down. Whenever you came down there, you caused problems. We would run you out and bottle you out and rope you out. You understand this? So